Welcome back to Shy's Big New Who Rewatch, where I rewatch every single episode of New Who, starting with Eccleston, to celebrate the 21 years it's been back on our screens, in our lives, whatever you want to say, right? So, we are starting off today's episode with midnight, right? So, we are really, really close to the end of season 4 now. Really, really close to the end of David Tennant. Obviously, we have the specials to go. But yeah, the first one we're going to cover is Midnight. This is the first time that Donna actually gets a rest. This is the first time that Donna actually gets to chill. This is the first time that Donna actually gets to do anything that isn't just, natural disasters or being traumatized or, next episode is kind of, yeah. But yeah, she at least gets to rest in this one. So the doctor invites her to go to the planet Midnight, to go on this, bus tour to the planet Midnight, where it's a diamond planet. It's supposedly gorgeous. And Donna's like, nah, I'm in a spa, mate. You've traumatized me too much. Like, you're paying for my spa treatments. I'm staying here, thank you. So she does that. The doctor then gets on this bus and he's like, oh, do you know what? I love this. Yeah. Like, intermingling with everyone, having a great time. Also, Colin Morgan's in this episode, and I love that. I love Colin Morgan's there because this just shows it's that era of the BBC where it's like, yes, Merlin's there. For those who haven't seen the BBC Merlin, go watch it. Especially if you're LGBTQ or like that sort of thing, because there's definitely vibes between between Merlin and Arthur. There are vibes. There are vibes. Not just vibes, I feel like it should be canon at this point. Anyway, so he is, I wouldn't say stuck. He's stuck at the end, but not at the beginning. At the beginning, he's like excited to go on a trip. They are chilling out a little bit. There's families on there. There's a professor on there. They're just, a whole bunch of people. And I quite like that. It's very much a capsule episode because there's very little space between everyone. There's a bunch of people who wouldn't really be stuck together otherwise, right? Except for obviously with the people they've come with. But the Doctor and Mrs. Silvestri are the only two that have come alone in this. So we've got a married couple and their son, and then we've got the professor and his assistant, essentially. And then obviously the Doctor and Miss Silvestri, and then we have the drivers and we have the hostess. And that's it. That's your crew. That's your lot for who you're going to meet. They then see a slight shadow when the Doctor is down speaking to the drivers. And then they have to shut everything down. They're like, nope, absolutely not. We're not letting anything come in. We're not letting anything out. So they lock it down. They hear knocking. They hear banging. And then all of a sudden it's gone. It's gone. It seemed to be coming for Miss Silvestri. And then it gets into it. And the thing is with Midnight, it is this entity that not just copies you, right? So the copying is freaky enough, right? It's when it starts speaking before you. It literally takes you. It takes your voice. It takes your words and it uses them against you. Also, how quick were these people to turn against the Doctor and be like, throw him out? Absolutely not. No. The Doctor's like, yeah, we don't do violence here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But yeah, they were so quick to be like, oh hey, yeah, let's chuck him out, let's toss him out. No, let's not. But the way that his face changed from being a bit freaked out to the hollowness. This is an entity I'm so glad that they revisited though, because it was freaky because you can't see it. Freaky because you can't reason with it. More so than the Weeping Angels because, you can't even see it. At least with the Weeping Angels, you can see them. Next episode we're going to tackle is Turn Left. This is one of my absolute faves. I love this episode because it shows how important one decision is. It shows how important Donna is as a person, right? Because she goes through life thinking, oh, I'm not important. I'm just a temp from Chiswick. And do you know who makes her feel like that? Her bloody mother. Sylvia Noble. If she has no haters, I've said this before, if Sylvia has no haters, I'm dead. I have perished. Sylvia's got me. Like that's what's happened if she has no haters. Because she's so mean to Donna. She's so mean to Donna. She's so mean to Wilf. Like just be happy, woman. Just like leave, give them a day off. Just one day of not yelling at them and telling them that they're shit the whole time, because that's what she does. But yeah, anyway, so while Sylvia's screaming at Donna, she has a decision of whether to turn left or to turn right. And this fortune teller, who is incidentally Chantho, it's the same actress, because this era of Doctor Who, they're like, oh yeah, we can't just get him in for one. So you may not know that it's Chantho, like outside of the makeup, because obviously when we see Chantho, she's very like she's blue, she's got the antenna things. But yeah, so they had her with Professor Yana, and now yeah, she's a fortune teller. But she gets Donna to rethink this decision of like, you need to turn right, not left. Like, and very much right, this decision, like what would happen if you turn this way and not this way. And Donna doesn't think too much of it. Obviously, this beetle crawls upon her back. She makes this decision. And through this decision, she, quits HC Clement. She never gets married. She never meets the doctor. And because of that, because she was never there to help the doctor's dead. Because the doctor wasn't there to save everyone, Gwen and Yanto from Torchwood are dead. Luke, Clyde, and Maria also dead. Sarah Jane, gone. Like, everyone is gone. Like, the hospital goes missing, but the doctor's not there to help it. Like, so Martha's also presumably dead. We do get to see Rose in like her new getup. I love her costume change, because this just shows how much she has changed between us seeing her on Bad Wolf Bay and now, right? Because she's got like the leather jacket, she looks not weathered necessarily, but you know when you can see in someone's eyes that they've seen some shit. That is the vibe that this version of Rose gives me, right? So she speaks to Donna, she's like, right, because you never made this decision, you all these people have died. Like, there was a good man called the Doctor and all that. She also tells Donna to get out of London. Get out of London at Christmas. Oh yeah, you won that raffle, didn't you? To have some time away. So Donna then takes Wilf and Sylvia to go and stay in this really, really nice hotel outside of London, and then the whole of London is gone. The whole of London completely annihilated because the doctor wasn't there to save it, to stop it, right? So because of that, I mean, again, Sylvia's still not happy. Sylvia's staying in a really, really posh hotel at Christmas, and she's still not fucking happy. She's still not happy. She survived. She's still not happy. You could give this woman everything she wants, and she'd still be like, "Oh, Donna, it's your fault. Oh, why can't you apply yourself better? Oh, Dad, why are you eating fucking crisps?" Like, just, oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, enough of my Sylvia hatred for today. So, one line that sticks with me about this episode is, you're not going to change the world by shouting at it. And Wilf says it. It's a really, really profound line, even though, like, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be profound, but it is. A lot of what Wilf says is great. A lot of what Wilf says, just in general, is like really good advice. But yeah, they end up staying in a multi-occupancy house in Leeds. They have a special Leeds stamp as well, where they like stamp that you go into Leeds. Who decided to get that made? Who knows? But yeah, with the whole of London gone, that means Chiswick's gone. So they have to go live in Leeds in a house full of multiple people. The people who aren't British get carted off. And I think that we need to take heed of this and be like, no, that's not going to happen again. No, let's change the, yeah. And you can't say the Doctor Who's never been political when this episode exists. But yeah, then Donna goes to find Rose, changes her decision by running in front of a lorry. So yeah, she changes it, and it's just a brilliant episode. It's a really, really good episode of New Who, really. The next episode we're going to get into is essentially Avengers Endgame, but make it Doctor Who. Because there are so many companions in this, there are so many cameos. Like, even species wise, there's so many people in this episode. So for a start, we've got, the Doctor and Donna, we've got Rose, who is currently in Sylvia's house. And yeah, Sylvia's nice to her. She's nice to her, but not nice to her own fucking family. Again, I'm sorry about the Sylvia Noble hate. It's just she boils my best, to be honest. I don't like her. I just do not like her. But yeah, so we've got Rose, we've got Martha, who is still obviously working for UNIT. We've got Jack and the Torchwood lot. We've got Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister, MP Flydale North, and whatever other title. I mean, hero after this, absolute hero. So we have everyone. We've got Sarah Jane Adventures lot. We have a little bit later on, we have Jackie, we've got Mickey, we've got everyone, right? So with Stolen Earth, we realise that the Earth has been taken, there's something wrong. All of a sudden, we're cutting to everyone, and then we cut to a random milkman because there's always got to be a random member of the public, and this is weird. This ain't right. To show that people actually realise that things aren't right and it's not just the Doctor and his companions. So the Doctor and Donna go to investigate what's going on, and we see the Jadoon. I love the Jadoon, right? So not only are they like space police, but they wear the cuntiest little uniforms. They wear the oh my god, the boots, the stompy goth boots, the cute little leather skirts as well. Just their uniform is so good. I want to dress like that, just always. I need to know what brand of boots they have because they seem very, very sturdy. And do they do them in a size 3 or a size 4? Because I have the teeny feet. But yeah, so they spend a lot of this episode going, it could be anyone. This threat, it could be, it's the Daleks. It's the Daleks. It's so obvious that it's the Daleks. But yeah, so it's like, all of these planets have been taken. But why? Why have they all been taken? So the Doctor starts investigating that. The rest of his team are trying to get in touch with him. And they have a subwave network set up by Harriet Jones. And yeah, unfortunately, that makes her meet her demise when she's talking to them. Which, I mean, I know she wasn't a great Prime Minister, but this kind of redeemed her as a character for me. Because, I guess, you can't say, don't you think she looks tired when she's dead? But yeah, I think it massively redeems her in my eyes. But yeah, we have a lot of cameos from a lot of people. This is the first appearance of Davros as well. This is the first time that we see Davros in New Who, which is quite frankly amazing that this is the first time we've seen him. We also have Dalek Khan, who's been blasted to bits, bless him, but he's just, how sometimes you've got the mad relative who just kind of sits in the corner of family gatherings, who just run they're clearly unwell, so everyone just kind of avoids them or just nods along. That is Dalek Khan in this episode and the next one, because he's very much just yes, it will end with the Doctor. And they've changed his voice as well, because they've tried to make it more softer, but also a little bit more okay, he's nuts. He nuts. But why are the Daleks listening to Dalek Khan? It makes no sense to me, because it's right, you've seen that he's blasted to bits. Usually, if the Daleks were to see a threat or a weakness or something, they'd get rid, wouldn't they? But they don't with Dalek Khan for some reason. But yeah, so Martha is put in charge of the directive of Project Indigo, which she hasn't been told. Well, she hasn't told anyone what that is, but it's basically blowing everything to bits to save the world from being overtaken, essentially. But yeah, you think that by now there would be some sort of tech to like blow the hell out of a Dalek. Like, unit would have special guns that would specifically like penetrate the Dalek armor. But there just isn't. There isn't. Like, there's certain things that have blown them up in the past, but like, surely they would, I don't know, be able to harness that technology and be like, right, okay. Um, but yeah, they all spam call the doctor on this number. And if I remember correctly, they actually set up this number, the BBC did. And like, you could call it, and I'm pretty sure it would be like a TARDIS sound. But like, don't quote me on that. I might be misremembering. It might have been like something else that they did that for. But yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Then we have the Doctor and Rose reunion that we've all hoped for, except we don't because he gets shot. Now that we've got Stolen Earth out of the way, let's talk about Journey's End. So we've reached the Journey's End, we've reached the end of season 4, and all of the Doctor's friends seem to have a little surprise up their sleeves. So Sarah Jane randomly has a warp star on her necklace, because why would she not? Martha has the Osterhagen key, which is supposedly supposed to be used to end the planet. And yeah, like, Jack obviously can fake out his death. We have a fake out regen as well. And watching this for the first time as a kid, I was thinking, okay, so we're just never going to have a regeneration again, because he manages to harness all of his regeneration energy into his spare hand, right? So he manages to do all of that, right? And I was thinking, are we never going to have regeneration again? Is this the way that we keep David Tennant as Doctor forever? Does the show just end when he decides he inevitably wants to leave? Like, what is this? What's going on? But yeah, no, that is not what happens. But what we do get out of that spare hand is not only the Meta Crisis Doctor, but we get the Dr. Donna, because Donna touches the hand, which then, for some reason, you can grow your own Doctor out of a spare hand that holds regeneration energy. So we have the Meta Crisis Doctor, and then as soon as Davros blasts poor sweet Donna Noble, it gives her synapses a little bit of a shock, and she is all of a sudden super, super smart, right? So she knows how to do everything. She also realizes that there's finally enough people to fly the TARDIS correctly. He still has the brakes on, though, doesn't he? Still has the brakes on until River tells him, and then he decides to just keep them on anyway. So we have a fake out death from Jack. We have Sarah Jane with a warp star. We do see K9 in this episode, and it feels really, really good to have everyone in the TARDIS. So there are 7 companions and 2 doctors in the TARDIS at this point. And it's like, holy shit, that must be the most amount of companions there has ever been in the TARDIS. As far as I am aware, obviously, if there are more in future, then I will make another video and I'll be like, I'm shy and I was wrong. I'm singing the shy wrong song. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, that is the most companions that they've ever had in one TARDIS crew, I guess. I know it was only for this one episode. But yeah, then we kind of get towards the end of the episode when the Daleks are defeated, which it was a rubbish plan anyway. It was a rubbish plan because they were like, oh yes, we want to take over the Earth. We want to rule over things. And it's like, but there's going to be nothing to rule over. How are you going to rule over things when there's nothing? You're getting rid of everything. But yeah, they have been thwarted. Everyone goes back. Sarah Jane goes back to Luke. Martha and Jack decide to stay on Earth, and so does Mickey. Mickey decides to stay on Earth as well, because he only stayed on parallel Earth because his nan was dead on our world, and she was alive on that world. So now that she's dead on that world, he feels like he's got nothing left over there. But my question is, he's been gone for several years. How's he just going to go back into his flat and like explain to everyone on the estate where the hell he's been? Like, I don't understand that. And then obviously we have the Mickey and Martha of it all by the end of it. But I'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, then we have the worst ending of all endings of Doctor Who, because Donna has to have her memory erased. And she can never remember the Doctor, which is something that I'm so glad that they get back to. But yeah, this has been a fun few episodes, and if you liked what you saw, just stick around because there will be more stuff coming